a $200 raise, and a $1,400 fourth stimulus check as it relates to Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, and of course, the low income. Now, super fast before we get into it, I just have a really quick hypothetical question for you. If you could choose one of these, one and only one, which one would you choose? A one-off $1,400 stimulus check, which would have no other ramifications, or a $200 per month raise to your monthly benefit, but if you get that, also remember, your benefits now may be taxable and you're likely going to lose access to other benefits, maybe like SNAP benefits or food stamps, the LIHEAP program, the WAP program, as well as all the other low-income programs out there you may currently be eligible for. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you down below in the comment section if you feel like sharing, and again, just with this question right here, if you could only choose one of them, which one would you rather go for? So anyway, love to hear from you. If you don't want to share, that's totally fine too. Okay, anyway, this has been a very interesting year. Again, I say this all the time, but it has been, right? This is a very odd year. This is not typical whatsoever, especially with all the massive changes we've seen out of Social Security. But when it comes down to it, we also recognize as well that lawmakers right now are pushing for, or I should say maybe kind of pushing for, the $200 per month raise, and economically speaking as well, we're also seeing a lot more talk about stimulus as of recently. Even earlier this year, we saw the talk of the $5,000 Doge dividend. You know where I stand on that. I've made that very clear before in other videos. That's not what we're talking about here in this video. But again, shortly after we got the introduction of the Doge dividend, the $5,000, the president came out, the administration came out like right away, shortly after that was introduced, and said, we're talking about a 20% profit share, right? So they jumped on that bandwagon like immediately as soon as that came out. So that just kind of shows their positioning on the distribution of additional money and the support for stimulus going forward, right? So that's probably a really good thing. Now, here's what else is interesting. We've seen the economy contracting in a major way recently. We've seen a lot of data coming out not looking so great, right? We've seen just a lot of data that has been coming out suggesting that the economy is slowing significantly, and we're not headed into a very good economic environment. Now, the situation being as well, a lot of this economic data that comes out is usually like 2, 3, 4 months delayed. So that's why right now it's like, it's not all that bad, is it? Well, it kind of depends, because we're talking about from months and months and months ago, the data that's coming out now. So realistically, we've likely been in this recession for several months, probably since the beginning of the year, realistically. But again, just based on the data now, it's like, I don't know. We're still seeing that data that's rolling in. Anyway, long story short here. A lot of this that's coming out right now, and again, the distribution of additional stimulus, whether it's a one-off $1,400 stimulus check, whether it's $2,000, whether it's more than that, whether it's less than that, that's always predicated on the economy, right? Okay, we've talked about that many times before in other videos. Also, when it comes down to this $200 per month raise, as in, the raise to benefits, as lawmakers have recently introduced, or I should say early on in the year, the first handful of months or so, they introduced the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. I've talked about it before in other videos. That's the $200 per month raise, right? What they want to implement is a temporary $200 per month raise to benefits out until the end of the year. Well, there's some problems with that as well, but here's what's interesting about that. That is also economically related, right? Why do I say that? Well, let's look at the name of this. The Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Emergency Inflation Relief Act, right? So basically what they're anticipating, because of the implementation of all the tariffs and everything we've seen economically, that they're thinking, hey, we need to implement a $200 emergency raise to benefits because of the inflation that's happening. Is that going to make sense, right? So anyway, the $200 per month raise that we're talking about here, as well as any distribution of stimulus, it appears that now this is all economically based, right? Whereas typically we used to see the $200 per month raise being introduced from like Bernie Sanders and his buddies out of the Senate saying, well, we just need to implement a $200 raise because seniors and people with disabilities are struggling. True. Yes, that's true. But the focus has changed a little bit, right? We used to hear it all about because seniors and people with disabilities are struggling financially, and now we're hearing it because the economy isn't very good, and that's why we need to implement a $200 raise. I'm going to be real with you. I don't care what the reason is, right? Just get the 200 to the people. I don't care what the reason is. You could say whatever, make up any reason why. Who cares what the reasoning is? Just get something for the people, and that's all that really matters, right? Is the $200 raise, or any raise for that matter, for the people, aside from the COLA. That's what's interesting about this. Now, here's another part about this as well that I want to point out. These two are very, very separate from one another. The $200 per month raise, again, is predicated on a couple different pieces of legislation. Whatever it is that they would want to pass. Again, the Social Security Expansion Act, that's the one out of Bernie Sanders and his buddies in the Senate to raise benefits by $200 per month for the next 75 years, essentially, out until the end of the century. Okay? That's one of them. Now, the other one is the temporary $200 raise, the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, again, introduced in, when was it? Early-ish April or so. It was leaked in, I believe it was in early April. It was when it was leaked. I was out in a video talking about it then as well. So quite a while ago now. Okay, but those are based on a couple different factors. Raising benefits by $200 per month. Now, when it comes down to a $1,400 stimulus check, or any dollar amount for that matter, it doesn't really matter. We could say it could be $1,000, $2,000, $1,400, $2,500. It literally doesn't matter the dollar amount, because that's just how it comes out, right? It's all based on how much the economy needs. But anyway, that is totally separate. So when it comes down to both of these, and considering that they're economically based, we could actually see possibly both of these. I mean, obviously, I don't want to make any promises. I have no idea what lawmakers are going to do here, but all I'm saying is that technically, we could get both of these simultaneously. Okay, that sounds good, but if we were to do that, what would that mean for the programs as a whole, and could beneficiaries possibly get both of these at the same time? The simple answer would be, yeah, technically, if both of these were to be passed at the same time, if lawmakers came forward and surprised all of us by actually doing something, number one, and number two, actually passing something for the people, that'd be surprising. And then number three, possibly passing both of these at the same time or near each other, then technically, yeah, beneficiaries could be getting potentially both of them going forward, right? So that's kind of the interesting thing about it, is that these are totally separate. Stimulus is provided just with just general spending, right? Obviously, because it's just to stimulate the economy. That's all it comes out to be, right? Generally comes out of stimulus packages. But then when it comes down to a raise to benefits, that would technically be out of Social Security and the trust fund, depending on how they word that. They could also say, well, this is going to be paid for with general federal funds, if it's going to be a temporary raise, whatever it happens to be. So there's multiple different ways that they could word it. But at the end of the day, technically beneficiaries could be eligible for both of these. And again, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, based on what we're currently seeing right now, this is economically based. Even the $200 per month raise, based on their most recent introductions of, again, the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, based on these, that's just what we're at right now. So they're kind of basing all this off the economy right now. Well, going back to what I said earlier, which is we recognize right now the economy's not doing so hot. We're seeing all the economic data coming out suggesting that. And realistically, as we progress deeper and deeper into the year, we're likely going to see that data weakening even more and getting worse and worse and worse, because the first half of the year was basically, the economy's not doing great, and all of what we saw in the first half of the year is going to be hitting in the second half of the year. That's why we've seen so many people coming out suggesting, red alert, we're likely going to see that major recession smash this economy in the second half of the year. So, interesting things that are happening right now. But moral of the story being, both of these, based on the most recent data that's coming out, based on the most recent introductions, they're basing both of these off the economy. Okay? Well, luckily, economy's not doing great. Economy's going down the tubes. Okay, that's good. And then the other part about this being is that if both of these were to be passed, which lawmakers could do both, they could do both if they just so happened to recognize that this was needed, they could do both. And the best thing for the beneficiary would be, you could technically get both of these at the same time if they were to be passed simultaneously or in relatively the same time frame. So super interesting time that we're going through right now, right? So anyway, All of this, again, would be stimulative of the economy, and that's exactly what they need in an economic downturn or an economic recession. You heard me talk about that before in other videos, right? So, yeah, I know. Super weird time right now. A lot of things that are happening. I'll keep you posted with everything going on, but I kind of hope this answers the question about what's going on with these two, where we currently stand on this. Again, it's all economically based. So even though it seems like, okay, that sounds cool, but like, when are we going to see something? Well, that's a really good question. As soon as we see the economy get even worse, that's really what it comes down to, okay? So either way, I'll keep you posted on all this. I know, it just seems like a long waiting game. That's unfortunately how it goes. Got to wait a very long time to see something like this, but when it happens, it generally happens relatively quickly. Either way, I'll keep you posted. Now, hey, if you need extra certainty right now with everything going on and all the massive confusion and frustration and uncertainty that's out there, check this out. See the phone number right here? This is by far your best resource, the team of trusted advisors when it comes down to your Medicare needs. And again, it could be any Medicare needs that you have: initial enrollment into Medicare, Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare Part D, Medicare Advantage, whatever it happens to be, call them. Seriously, your trusted advisors right here, the phone number. I partner with them here on the channel, number one, because it's free. It's 100% free, and we love free stuff here. At least I do. Love free stuff. So it's 100% free to work with them right here with this phone number. By the way, that is your exclusive phone number for all of you right here in this community. That's your phone number. So go ahead and call it. Write the phone number down. Take a picture. Take a screenshot. Whatever you got to do. And they're waiting to help you. They're literally waiting on standby to help you. So if you call that, you'll connect with an agent, and they'll work with you. Again, totally free. They have access to over 20,000 plans across the country. They're navigating all of them, isolating it down to the plans in your local area to find you the best plan at the best price with the best coverages for you and your personal needs. And they're personalizing that to you. Remember, all of us have very different medical needs. If all of us had the exact same plan, that'd be a bad problem, because we all need something very different. Our needs are very, very different. Therefore, we shouldn't have the same plan, right? My needs are different than yours. Your needs are different than the guy down the street. We all need something very, very different. And that's exactly what these guys, the trusted advisors, are doing. When you call them, they're working to find you the best plan for you and your personal needs. Again, so you can see the doctors, the providers you want to see, the networks you want to be within, the offices or the clinics you want to visit, the prescription needs, if you have any at all, whatever it happens to be. They're looking through all of that and finding you your best options. Anyway, give them a call. You'll be super happy you did. And by the way, the average senior that they're working with is saving $1,100. That's the average savings. It's not guaranteed, but that's the average savings. That's real money savings that we all need right now during this super tough time. Anyway, give them a call. You'll be super glad. And yeah, they can help you with all your Medicare needs. All right, anyway, if you know anybody that's also in the same situation, in fact, I know you know a few people. I know a bunch of people, my aunts and uncles, right? They're all kind of in the same situation right now. They're turning 65. They're needing help with their Medicare, stuff like that. My parents even, my wife's parents are in the same position right now. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, you know anybody? I know you know a few people. Think of who they are: friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, co-workers, parents, anybody like that. Go ahead and share that phone number. Again, this phone number right here. Go ahead and share that with them. They'll be incredibly appreciative of you for sharing that. And then when they save a ton of money and get a better plan and better coverages, you get to be the hero. They'll come running back to you, arms up in the air, cheering, "Hooray! You saved me a ton of money. Thank you so much for the phone number. It was 100% free. I'm so happy." And who knows, maybe they'll treat you to like an ice cream cone or like a dinner, or maybe like, I don't know, maybe they'll give you something. That'd be awesome, right? Anyway, I hope this helps you. But again, go ahead and write the phone number down. And again, please share this video as well. Big share button down below. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Otherwise, if you're new here, if you have not done so yet, please consider subscribing. 100% free. Big subscribe button down below. Check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand-selected for you down below in the description and popping up on your screen in just a minute. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, please have a nice day. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the very next video.